anymore, or he's not going to want me anymore. That could be your friends, or that could be your significant other. And so know that that's actually, in my opinion, the place that it comes from most of the time is fear. Anytime someone's acting out angry or mean, it's usually coming from fear. And so you got to ask yourself, what are they really afraid of? At the real root, if we get to the real bottom of it, what is this critic afraid of? They're either afraid that your light shining bright is going to somehow shine on them and people are going to notice the shadow that they're living in, the small place they're living in, or they're afraid you're leaving. And so if you can begin to pray for them almost, it'll flip the script. Luke 6 verse 28 says, Jesus says to bless those who curse you, pray for those who hurt you. And that's not an easy thing to do, but I recommend you do it. And you got to be ready for it. In fact, if you don't have any critics right now, if you're not controversial at all, if you don't have any haters, if you don't have anybody putting you down or trying to pull you back or wondering what the heck's going on with you as you change, you're probably not doing anything great in your life. In fact, it's one of the leading indicators you're doing something. You're doing something right. You got some critics. You're controversial. I could tell you this. And by the way, it doesn't end. Then once you make it, they'll have other, oh, you've changed. It doesn't end. So at some point, you have to decide you're okay with being misunderstood. You can't constantly be. For me, there's one rule in my life. When someone's wondering what I'm doing, I'll explain it to you once. And then after that, it's not my job you don't understand. You do get one grace. You get one blessing. You get one explanation. But I'm not doing this over and over and over again with you. It takes your energy. It's toxic. It distracts you. To do something great with your life requires laser, obsessive focus. And if you've got to deal with this other person not understanding you, you got to give it to them once. And after that, and I tell them that, listen, I totally understand. It's a fair question. Let me explain this to you. But I want you to listen close because I'm only doing this one time. And let me say this to you also. If this controversial thing takes you off your dream, you were going to lose anyway. Because imagine the real rejection. When you actually lose the account, when something doesn't go well, when an absolute disaster takes place, when a crisis happens over and over and over again, the first time you get slammed to the ground on your dream, or the 18th time, if a critic or being controversial or being misunderstood takes you off your dream, come on. Something else is going to get you anyway. So toughen up. And people ask me often, well, what if that person's the closest person to you? I need their support. You do? You lack so much motivation that you need theirs? I mean, think that one through for a second. It's just sort of this vogue thing to say, how do I get my significant other to support me more? Well, a lot of times the answer to that is win. You got to go win. There's the truth of human beings. They may not share your vision. They may not get it. You may not have their support. And if you need it, you were